Hello, today's video we have the following content.
The Legend of the Condor Heroes suffered a setback after investing 400 million yuan. Nanfang Daily publicly named it, and the box office dropped sharply. The Legend of the Condor Heroes was the pre-sale box office champion during the Spring Festival. After the release, the filming schedule and attendance rate plummeted, the box office shrank, and it was criticized for 6 major flaws such as special effects and scripts, lack of martial arts atmosphere, and outrageous plot. Although there are bright spots, it may be difficult to recover the investment of 400 million yuan and face the risk of loss. Alice, the recent Spring Festival movies are really lively. If you want to say the most surprising one, it has to be The Legend of the Condor Heroes. This blockbuster, which claims to have invested 400 million yuan, was the champion of the pre-sale box office before its release. It was really a great success. But who would have thought that the situation would change so quickly in a blink of an eye? The box office collapsed so badly, and the reputation also plummeted. It actually dropped out of the top 3. What is going on? Is it success as did as IOE, and failure is also bad as IOE? Let's take a look at those really shocking data first. On the first day of the movie's release, the scheduling was as high as 70,000 to 80,000 shows, which is really unparalleled. But before long, the number of screenings dropped to 40,000, which was a direct reduction of half. The attendance rate also dropped from 53% to 31.5%, and the average number of audiences per show also dropped from 63.9 to 38.8. As for the box office, it was simply heartbreaking. It took 258 million on the first day, but it shrunk to 130 million on the second day. This rhythm is really jaw-dropping. What mystery is hidden behind this? At this time, the Southern Daily published a long review, directly criticizing the 6 major flaws of the film: special effects, scripts, screenwriters, narrative techniques, traffic actors, etc. The article was really sharp and exposed all the flaws of the film. To put it bluntly, this movie is simply empty and hard as a rock. After all, although these traffic actors can bring popularity to the box office, they may also become box office poison. As soon as this article came out, the internet was lively, and fans and the media were arguing fiercely. What's wrong with this movie? In the final analysis, it is still about the concept of martial arts. This movie claims to be a martial arts film, but if you look closely, how many exciting fighting scenes are there? It's all special effects bombardment, and people don't feel the martial arts atmosphere at all. It looks like a fairy tale drama. Especially the decisive battle between Guojing and Tu Yangfeng. The two of them were spinning in circles and facing each other, and they didn't even touch each other's clothes for a long time. What kind of martial arts is this? It's simply an insult to the audience's IQ. What's even more frustrating is the plot. The Khan is so good to Guojing, but when Guojing was attacked, he didn't lend a hand to help, but went to Wang Rong to be sweet. The battlefield was full of corpses, but these two were there eating roasted chicken and showing their love, which was really dumbfounding. What's more ridiculous is that they actually fooled the officials guarding the city and stood hand in hand at the city gate to block the surging enemy army. This plot is really powerless to complain. Don't say that this movie also has highlights. The role of Huo Zheng unexpectedly won the love of the audience, which is really surprising. This is similar to Deng Chanai and Feng Shen, who unexpectedly attracted many fans. Speaking of the investment and box office of this movie, it really makes people sigh. I heard that this movie cost a huge amount of 400 million. However, the predicted final box office is only 400 to 500 million, and the investors are afraid of a big loss. The investment of 400 million may only pay back the original amount, or even face losses. The risk is really amazing. This lesson is really real. The Legend of the Condor Heroes has failed both in terms of reputation and box office, and the embarrassment of traffic has been fully reflected again. The Legend of the Condor Heroes has failed both in terms of box office and reputation, and it is a failure in Tsui Hark's directorial career. Although the pre-sale is high, the poor quality and reputation have led to a sluggish box office. Traffic is not the original sin, and the real gold needs to be refined by fire. Compared with Nezha 2, the gap is even more obvious. Martial arts movies need to focus on quality and reputation. Spring Festival non-stop challenge. Whether you admit it or not, the movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes has already failed both in terms of reputation and box office. For director Tsui Hark, This time he has fallen into a big setback again. Whether he cares or not, the movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes is a big failure in his directorial career. Although Tsui Hark has been stumbling over the years, this movie really made him fall hard. Among the 6 films in the Spring Festival, The Legend of the Condor Heroes is currently the only one that has not yet been scored on Dubin. The reason is self-evident. This is the norm for traffic-type movies, but judging from the box office alone, the embarrassment of traffic has been fully reflected again. High pre-sale, low trend, the film will lose a lot of money in the end. Relying solely on traffic fans, without excellent quality and reputation, there is no market at the moment, and blood loss is inevitable. Rushing pre-sales to make data is what the fan circle is good at, and it can indeed make beautiful data that makes people look at it with admiration. Judging from the pre-sale results, The Legend of the Condor Heroes won the first place in the pre-sale of the 2025 Spring Festival with a pre-sale box office of $350 million, and also ranked among the top 5 pre-sale list in film history. It is undeniable that the pre-sale of The Legend of the Condor Heroes was successful, but the box office only stayed in the pre-sale, and the only thing that can be boasted is the pre-sale. From the final box office, according to the current forecast of $637 million box office, the new box office of The Legend of the Condor Heroes will be less than $300 million, less than half of the pre-sale. In addition to fan audiences, there are very few new ordinary audiences. The reason for this result is naturally that there are problems with the quality and reputation of the film itself, which cannot be solved by fans, and this is also the embarrassment of traffic. Although the total box office will create a new high for martial arts films, such a new box office high does not have much value in terms of time or cost. At present, no matter what kind of movie it is, quality and reputation are king. Without quality and reputation, everything is in vain. The success of Nezha 2 has once again proved the importance of quality and reputation, and it has also slapped many films in the face, especially traffic-type movies. Nezha 2 is not only the first in the reputation of the schedule, but also will create a new box office record in film history, rushing towards the $6 billion mark. Although there is no record-breaking pre-sale box office, it will set a record in film history for total box office. Such a box office record is the most valuable, far from being comparable to traffic-type movies. Not to mention that compared with Nezha 2, The Legend of the Condor Heroes can even beat Bunny Bears in the end, and the single-day box office has long been surpassed. For a movie, fans are certainly useful, but ordinary audiences are more important. And ordinary audiences will not simply generate electricity for love, but look at quality and word of mouth. As for the movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes, as a martial arts movie, it has lost the core of martial arts, and the main theme of the greatest hero has become an empty slogan. The most outstanding martial arts movie in recent years is the No One in My Eyes series. Although it is only an online movie, it obviously beats a number of theater blockbusters, including the current The Legend of the Condor Heroes. Although The Legend of the Condor Heroes is a theater blockbuster, it is more like an online movie in terms of the finished film. The dominance of the love line has doomed it to failure from the beginning in today's market environment. The heavy and colorful narration of the love story of Guojing and Wang Rong has reduced the film to a film of ancient puppet nature. Not to mention the lack of heroes, even the martial arts are pitifully few, and the final presentation is only a full screen of special effects. Is this the martial arts film that the audience wants to see? The so-called great hero is just an empty slogan floating on the surface. Not only is the foreshadowing insufficient, but the emotions are also insufficient, and it cannot move the audience at all. For Tsui Hark, he is naturally the most qualified and capable to shoot martial arts films, especially to express the theme of the greatest hero. After all, he has shot the Wang Fihong series of films. But disappointingly, The Legend of the Condor Heroes did not even shoot the fur of Wang Fihong. The adaptability and performance of the leading actors are also a big failure. From the beginning, the actor who played Wang Rong was criticized, and in the feature film, it was indeed as the majority of the audience said, this version of Wang Rong was not smart and cute, and overemphasized the chivalry, which weakened the chivalry of Guojing. Guojing, who lacked chivalry, became simple, and what was more fatal was the flaw in the male lead's acting skills, which made this character more ordinary. Insufficient growth and stiff performance made a generation of heroes dim. This version of Wang Rong and Guojing are in the last place in the entire IP adaptation. But it must be said that both Hua Zheng and Du Yangfeng are still amazing. Hua Zheng showed the potential of a newcomer, while Liu Yangfeng embodied the solidity and proficiency of an old actor. I can't believe that such a The Legend of the Condor Heroes was actually written by Sui Hark. As a representative of Chinese martial arts movies, Sui Hark has made martial arts classics one after another, but in the end he still bowed his head and made such a bad movie. The Legend of the Condor Heroes has attracted much attention from the beginning, first because of Jin Yong's IP and director Sui Hark, and then because of traffic. Especially traffic, it has always been a double-edged sword, but it is obvious that traffic is not the original sin, but traffic often harms a work. For The Legend of the Condor Heroes, it has benefited from the traffic, but it has also paid a heavy price for it. But once compared, it is naturally not worth the loss. The first place in pre-sale is completely insignificant now. For the disastrous result, it is better to reflect on yourself instead of blindly blaming the scheduling.
Thank you for watching the video. If this is your first time watching a video, please subscribe to the channel, like and leave your comments to help us develop your channel.